Well, what a night, huh? Tonight was Game 5, the American League Division Series. Detroit, Seattle, Tigers, Mariners. Winner take all. Winner faces the Blue Jays in the American League Championship Series. So, here's what took place bit by bit during this game. Tariq Skubal had quite the performance, starting for the Tigers. Lasted 6 innings, only gave up 2 hits, only gave up one earned run, no walks, 13 strikeouts. Another amazing performance, but and it was pretty close throughout. Detroit was up 2-1 until Seattle actually tied it up. Of course, this was the score entering the eighth inning. It was 2-2. I remember I had said early in the game when it was 1-0 Seattle, we get extra innings. Yeah, I did say that because winner take all game going past regulation. That's always something in any sport. And I said when it was 1-0 Seattle, something we get extra innings. Lo and behold, we got the extra innings, a bunch of them by that. As a matter of fact, game was tied at 2, heading past regulation, and the beat just kept going on and on and on. Just there were a lot of close calls from both teams. I think there were some bases loaded situations, but teams kept getting out of them. And it did get to the 13th, but it was just amazing. We were all watching something wonderful and beautiful right there. So, let's get to it. In all of this, how did this end up? Because somebody had to win this. Who won it? And there it is. Your final score in 15 innings. 3-2. Bases loaded in the 15th. Jorge Polanco comes up. Count was full. And the next pitch, right past the infield for an RBI single that wins it. That was the only hit Polanco had, and it came at the right time. So it was a great thriller. It was absolutely amazing, and somebody had to win it, and it ended up being Seattle. So, for the first time in 24 years, the Mariners are playing for the pennant, something they've never won. Yeah, it's gonna be. It's amazing. Seattle's having the best season they've had in a long time because this is a hard luck team. They debuted in 1977. Okay, didn't make the playoffs until '95, but even then, that year was slightly shortened. They were coming off that strike. They needed an extra game to win the division, and they made the ALCS that year. They had a few postseasons when they had that kind of great team with Ken Griffey Jr. and Jay Buhner and all of them, and Randy Johnson was a pitcher until he went to Houston in like '98 or something like that. But they kept a great team. And of course, 2001 they won 116 games, tied for the most wins ever in baseball history. But they still don't get to the World Series. As for Detroit, well, again, somebody had to lose that game. They still made it interesting. I think this makes baseball fans forget that Detroit kind of collapsed when they had the division all sewed up. But they beat out Cleveland, so that kind of makes up for it too. I kind of think we'll probably see Detroit back in the postseason next year. Maybe they hold on and actually win the division, but we'll see them back. We'll see them back playing October baseball again. And so, there it is, folks. The 2025 American League Championship Series. the Seattle Mariners and the Toronto Blue Jays, they will face off for the Junior Circuit's pennant, and it's almost it's fitting, isn't it? These two teams, these two teams debuted in Major League Baseball in the same year, 1977. They were the two. They were the two newest teams in the newest original teams in the American League until 1998, when the Tampa Bay, then named Devil Rays, debuted. And no, we're not counting when the Astros switched leagues. But yeah, they were the two newest teams in the league at that time until the Devil Rays debuted, and they debuted the same year. Of course, the Mariners joined the AL West, the Blue Jays joined the AL East. Same year debut, but two different destinies. Toronto, of course, their first postseason came in 1985. The ninth season of existence, they had a good series against the Royals, but the Royals were too much for them. But they still remained kind of in it throughout the latter half of the 80s and entered the 90s. Of course, 92 and 93, those were their years. Okay. But again, Seattle debuted in 77, didn't make the playoffs until 95, and after 2001, it had been hell for them. But the Mariners have a chance to erase all that. They are four wins away from reaching the World Series. They are the only current team. They're the only team out of 30 in the Major League Baseball. They are the only team never to play in the World Series. And this is their 49th season of play. So we could see something awesome here. Either the World Series goes to Canada again for the first time in 32 years, or the Pacific Northwest finally gets that taste of the Fall Classic for the first time ever. It's going to be a hell of a series, but that starts on Sunday. The ALCS starts on Sunday. Tomorrow, the division series ends with another Game 5. It's Game 5 in Milwaukee. Brewers, Cubs. Whoever wins that faces the Dodgers, the defending champs. And, of course, the winner, the game will determine where Game 1 will be. If the Brewers win, Game 1's in Seattle. That's Seattle. I'm still stuck on it American League. If the Brewers win, Game 1's in Milwaukee. If the Cubs win, Game 1's in L.A. And, of course, the NLCS, the National League Championship Series, starts on Monday. But as for the Game 5 between the Cubs and Brewers, that's on TBS. That's on TBS tomorrow night at 8:08 p.m. Eastern, 5:08 p.m. Pacific. And again, the American League Championship Series Game 1 is Sunday, 8:03 p.m. Eastern, 5:03 p.m. Pacific on Fox. So that is my recap of Game 5 between the Tigers and Mariners. If you like this video, click the like button. If you're on YouTube, click subscribe. If you're on TikTok and Instagram, feel free to hit that follow button. And I'll be back tomorrow to recap the last game of the overall division series. So stay tuned.